Elestriad veteran CalebDOTexe pilots LUNAR in a best-of-3 clash versus OneSPlays, debuting in the Elestriad with the Thunder Pantheon by their side. Welcome back to the Elestriad. My name is PK Sparks, representing the Fire Pantheon this season, and I thank Elestrals for bringing me back to do commentary. I am excited to see how Caleb pilots LUNAR versus Thunder in this best-of-3 clash, but not as excited as I am for Elestrals clash. Did you see that gorgeous, full art, stellar Elestriad included in every Founders pack? How about the Pantheon staples like Earthquake, Eruption, or Tsunami? You can get these and more if you visit the Elestrals Clash Kickstarter, linked below, and back the project at $25 or more. The more stretch goals hit, the more cards are added to the packs. Let's see what Caleb is packing for LUNAR in today's best-of-3 clash.
What is up, my Drak Kings, Drak Queens, and squids of every Nexus form? We're back for Elestriad Season 3. We're here in the LUNAR Pantheon, and oh boy, I can't wait to show you this Drakking deck that we are bringing today for a game versus OneSPlays. So OneSPlays is a duo that I don't really know that much about. I've seen them around the space, but I haven't done a lot of research to figure out what I'm going up against. But I'm taking this very seriously, and I'm scared because they're on Thunder, and you know, squids don't do well with electricity and water. So I wanted to be very careful with this matchup, and what I'm bringing today is a list that the LUNAR squad has been brewing up between me, Wirtz, and Super Insane 18, who's also been helping out greatly. This started as a theoretical deck that I've been testing some time ago, and this is what we're bringing today. So of course we're running 3 Drakking, we've got double Gloombat and double Tadpuff. So these are our main ways that we're going to be turboing out the big boss monster of the deck, Drakking. The idea is mainly to be hard drawing Drakking actually, and then we can Tadpuff special go into Drakking, or Gloombat as well, which has additional utility if our opponent happens to set 2 face downs. We are also, for the LUNAR stuff, running only 3 Drakid, because we want to be able to use the effect. Drakid is a little bit worse because we're not in 5s meta anymore with the recent change to the Tartarus list. So ideally we'd like to not be playing 3, but we are. We're running 3 Specteris and just the 1 Nobby, just so we can have a decent amount of 1-drops that we could be playing. That's all of our LUNAR guys and LUNAR Turbo guys. And so since we're in water, of course we need to be running 2 Dratagua and 3 Edward. Edward has some synergy with Kerbis because we are naturally playing Rock and Hard Plays for the Drakking. Eddie also gets us there. And then our last Elestrals are the 3 Astrabbit. For our counter-in suite, we're just running triple Shield, triple Gorgons in main. We've got PTA on the side. We've got triple Ambrosia. We've got triple Rock and Hard Place. We're running 1 Resting, double Cryo Scorch, double Nog, and the 1 of Artemis, which unfortunately doesn't synergize super well with this list. There's some theories that we've been popping around with that we could be using, but not going to end up playing this today most likely. It's a very niche use case, but maybe we'll be able to actually pull this out with like something a little bit nasty later on down the line if we're able to pick it up today. For our Spirit deck, we were on the mandatory 11 LUNAR, and then we got to try and squeeze as much value into the rest of our deck as possible. So we're on 5 Water, we got 1 Frost, we got 3 Thunder. And then for the side deck, since we are now in best of 3 for the Elestriad, we've got our triple Boombat, double Dense Fog. I don't really ever feel like I need the 3rd. We're deciding the 3rd Cryoblast. Even though we only have 1 Frost, it's just about seeing it more probabilistically. And then we have our triple PTA, triple Tsunami as additional counter runes. We've got a 1 of Kerbis if we feel like it's relevant for the Eddie Ascend. And then double Nobby. We're playing against Thunder, and so Nobby may end up actually being pretty solid because this gets over the Joltons, the Elechiks, the Toxions. So I'll likely be siding into this if I feel like it's necessary depending on the matchup. It's also especially relevant for cards like Arcalith, which this can crash with, as long as the field spell isn't up. And it also can contest in certain board states stuff like Sonicore or Lycavolt, depending on how many amp ups are in the underworld. So there is some use case here, trying to play very broadly because we don't know exactly what our opponents are going to be bringing today. And so that is the list that we're bringing. If you have seen, I don't know exactly what the timing of these videos are going to be, but if you've seen Wirt's game in the future or the past, we're playing very similar lists. This is just what has tested well and what has performed well. There's another variant that I've been playing a lot of that is a lot more water focused, and so for the restrictions of this tournament, we had to adjust it quite a bit and play it a little bit slower than I like to play Drakking. I like to play it very fast. Unfortunately, I had to cut things like drops of lead from this deck, which I love in Drakking, but it just doesn't quite work with the deck restrictions. So this is what we're bringing. It's a little bit slower. It's trying to play kind of a little bit different of a speed than normal Drakking, but hopefully we can bring our pineapple friend to victory today. And good luck to OneSPlays. I'm looking forward to playing against them. We'll see you in the clash.
With the 1 of 10 Drakking from Shatterstar's LUNAR in my collection, I'd rely on Drakking as my win con as well. Tad Puff and Gloombat are amazing special casts to make the Ascensions happen on turn 2, similar to the strategy played on Monday. The lack of counter runes in the main deck shows a commitment to offense, which OneSPlays could exploit. The side deck is very diverse though, even including 2 more Nobbies to give Caleb diversity to deal with any surprises thrown his way.
Hello everyone, I am Jess and this is Chris aka OneSPlays, and we are making our trading card tournament debut. What did our beginner's luck get us?
Just a matchup with an Elestriad and a brand new Pantheon that's shrouded in mystery. But being from the Philly area, we know a thing or two about being underdogs, and that means
A montage.
what?
A montage, like, you know, Rocky, a montage.
No, we're not doing a Are you ready? Wait!
You're ready.
Gosh, I'm so sweaty.
That was intense.
But after training like that, we are ready to shock the world.
Starting with Elestrals. 3 standard rabbits, 3 Quackles for regen, Jolton and Elechick to get our stadium into vines, Good Boys for attacking, Lavalith and Arcalith, and then Sonicore, our secret weapon to hopefully prevent counter runes. Next, we have 2 Zeus, 2 Mount Olympus, Race to the top to hopefully get rid of some of those big boys, Thunderstorms to get rid of runes, resting on your laurels for another free Elestral Eliminator, of course Earthquake, the 2 standards, Rip to having 3 of them, Cryoblast for Drakid, goodbye. Next, 3 Ambrosias, 2 Nogs, 2 Divine Blessing to hopefully prevent that rock in a hard place, and then 3 Shield and 3 Gorgon's Gaze. Our spirit deck looks like this, following the tournament rules of at least 11 Pantheon spirits, then the other ones here to get us to 20. Then finally, here's our side deck, just in case things go wrong game 1, we have backup plans.
Our game plan is to try to play around Lunar suppression ability, which we are going to plan on doing so with our Elestrals as well as our counter runes. However, it's really going to come down to, can we prevent Drakking, Kerbis, and maybe a Moose from being casted? So wish us luck. We'll see what happens.
Their deck is a mashup of everything that makes Thunder a powerful element. But it makes me wonder if the lack of a focused strategy will create hands that don't get the mileage they're looking for. But cards like Estrada and Quackle may be all they need to assemble their plays and take the set. The side does allow them to zero in on one strategy, and that may be all they need once they see what Caleb's strategy is. Here we go, Caleb versus OneSPlays. That looks like 2 S-plays there in the camera. What's going on? So there's only one person that's going to be casting. Chris is beside Jess, but Jess will be the one playing all the cards. Caleb is starting off and drops a full art Nectar of the Gods, dropping, it looks like 2 Owl Loons and getting himself a draw 2 right here. It's going to be really good to see, to just dig deeper into his deck. I imagine he doesn't really want to go too far. It also expends the draw. it makes you wonder if he bricked on way too many Drakkings in his opening hand, but a mulligan would have came out, right? Maybe he saw the Nog and decided, I'm going to keep this because I want them in my hand. I don't know, there's many ways where that could have gone, so we're not going to make too many suggestions. I do love that Jess is playing the spirits on the right side. As a matter of fact, I think Chris is the one keeping track of it. Is that legal? Now your attention isn't split and everything. You know what? We'll let it go. It's gonna be fine. But regardless, Elestriad is going to come out to get the look at the top 3, and it looks like one choice was made, and only a set back row. It looks like only one as played. Let's see exactly how OneSPlays decides to operate here. But you know, slow and steady play. I have a feeling that just isn't going to be playing against their opponent too much. The drag kid does come out. I would be shocked if we don't see Rocking a Hard Place right here. And you have to imagine that the back row is going to be kept, which means the Strab is going to go down in a very potent way. Rocking a Hard Place is cast out by Caleb right here, and this 1-1 scenario is the optimal time to drop a card like Rocking a Hard Place. This card is a little undervalued right now, but it's such a good card for knowledge's sake. Elestriad is the one that's chosen to be destroyed, hoping to keep the back row for whatever may be coming out next. Drakking will likely be ascending into Drakking right now as well. Does he choose the one of? If he doesn't choose the one of, it's in his hand. It's in his hand. I'm calling it now. The one of is already in his hand. Otherwise, he would have cast it from his deck for sure. Regardless, though, Drakking does ascend into the Drakking. Going back to the Rocking a Hard Place, though, it does let you know what your opponent values more. Do they value the Elestrals being on board, meaning they're probably setting up for some Ascension plans, or maybe they just really value the back row? Or do they value the back row more, meaning that they have something that's going to stop your offense, whichever it may be? Maybe it's a shield, maybe it's a poison tip arrow, maybe it's a Gorgon's Gaze. Regardless, looks like the hit just goes through. 2 points of damage does go against Jess and OneSPlays. So now Caleb, while is behind on spirits by 4, does have a very foreboding field. Just have to be wary of anything being cast out that they are casting out, because it could go against them very quickly. Jolton is going to cast out, likely going to search out a Mount Olympus. And the Gorgon's Gaze immediately, looking that he just wants to keep them off of cards. I don't know if I would have minded Olympus coming out here, because even if they have Race to the Top isn't destroying Drakking right here. So the back row would have had to have been potent. Not that it can't be, but I don't know if I would have spent my Gorgon's Gaze on Jolton, but there's a lot of value that Caleb still sees here. And you know, you can play either way. Right now, they are deliberating their play and see how this is going to go. But Caleb looks very cool, calm and collected, and it looks like the turn is past there. Very good for Caleb. Now he just keeps to maintain his play, and now we have Eddie coming out here, going to switch Jolton to defense, allowing Eddie to run over Jolton, and Drakking to crack in with another 2 points of damage against Jess and OneSPlays. Oh, the attack is actually going from Drakking, wants to steal the Jolton, but Gorgon's Gaze, the set face down, is going to be the one to stop Drakking's attack, preventing their Elestral from being stolen. I guess there is value there in not losing the actual body. They would have taken 2 points. No, they wouldn't have only taken. Yeah, they would have taken 2 points of damage regardless. So this time they just make it to where he doesn't get an extra body on board. I think there is value there. Elechick comes out. Zeus is going to be really helpful in Drakking. And taking out Drakking. So this is a really good play for Jess right now. Let's see if Caleb has anything to stop the search. Speaking of which, I don't know how many people are or are not talking about it, but I think Pandora's Box is in a very unique spot to be effective in this meta. Not just Daybreak, but even Moonrise. Seriously, have you seen those reveals on the YouTube channel? They are incredible. In any case, Stellar Ambrosia from the base set blister pack is coming out there, allowing them to heal 3 spirits from the underworld. It may just be all thunder. I don't think we've seen any, you know, we did see fire, but 3 thunder is going to be healed up right here, putting the spirit differential 15 to 10, 14 to 10, 13 to 10. Will it be 12? How many more are we going to enchant into that Zeus right there? At least one more. Oh, we got another one. All right, we are setting 5. I'm sorry, excuse me. We are setting 3 to the Zeus here. Elechick is likely going to be trying to crash into the Drakking. I wonder if Jess is aware that Drakking will still trigger if it does crash with the Elechick, allowing them to swap. At least I believe that's how that would resolve. You know, I'm still figuring out these rules myself, if I'm being completely honest. But in all cases, we have the disenchant, I'm assuming is going to the Drakking, and the Gorgon's Gaze is going to stop the attack, so we don't get to see how that will resolve. I will be asking Skyhawk about it though. Great judge, great judge. In any case though, the Gorgon's Gaze once again is coming out from Caleb, but the spirit differential has not exactly been in his favor. He has kept board presence though. Another Eddie has hit the field and now is going to be threatening the Elechick, putting it to defense. If there is a rock and a hard place here and a double ascension in the curve, well, actually we know that's not the case, but it would be cool though. It would be cool though. I'm sorry, I was theory crafting. I was just hoping at this point, you know, it'd be cool. But Drakking is going to run into the Elechick. There is no stopping of the attack, and he calls it over immediately. The Nimbug as the proxy. Love it, love it, love it. The Nimbug as the proxy for the Elechick is going to go in. It's going to be 3 points of damage against Jess and OneSPlays. From the Elechick, from the Eddie, from the second Eddie, and it's going to be 3 points of damage directly. The scores are going very nice in Caleb's, the score is looking very nice in Jess's favor, but Caleb has board control unlike any other. And now don't forget, the Elechick is Lunar Enchanted. That could come in play for the Ascension play later on. Nekruff is going to cast out, and it is Fire Enchanted. Will there be a contest of this play here? Looks like they're explaining something between them two. I'm not really sure what's going on. Oh, right! The Drakking. Wait, the Drakking is only protecting it from being attacked. So did they were probably going to attack the Drakking with the Nekruff and run over it, but he warned them, hey, you cannot do that because the Elechick goes in the field. You can only attack the Elechick, or you can't attack Drakking while Elechick is on the field. So there you go. Very kind by Caleb for letting them know before they make a huge misplay. And there it is from the hand. I called it, the hard ascension into the second, and well, I can't even say second, the 1 of 10 Stellar Drakkings from Shatterstars Lunar. Still available on shopelestrals.com. But we have the second one hitting the field, and now his huge offensive play is coming into fruition. While Spirit Count has been in Justice's favor his entire time, board presence has not been. But if they can hold out much longer, just a little bit longer, and bouncing those 2 spirits and the Drakking back to hand will definitely help. If they can hold out here, they may be able to gain field control just by spirit advantage alone. But spending the 3 spirits to bounce that is pretty costly. Drakking is going to hit the Nekruff. There has to be something to stop this attack here, and that is a properly enchanted Drakking, so we will not be seeing Tsunami here. It's going to be something. It had to be a second shield. It would have to be a second shield here. And you know, if they don't stop this, I can see the game not going in their favor from this point on. The attack does go through. Does he take it to his field? Yes, he does take it. I love the transition here. Love that. But he does take the Nekruff, and now Nekruff and the Elechick. It has to hurt being beaten down by your own Elestrals. This is the first time I'm seeing Drakking in such a potent position on the field, and the necromancy of it all is giving me so much joy. Not so much Jess, and understandably so. They are thinking about what spirits are going to lose, and now for the first time, Caleb does have spirit advantage. He has maintained board advantage. Nekruff, Drakking, Elechick, 2 face downs, and it looks like Jess is going to be revealing their hand. That is going to be the end of the game. Gorgon's Gaze, Mount Olympus, and Sonicore was in their hands. Sonicore being a card that, you know, I didn't point it out in the deck building, but it's not going to do too much in this matchup. We see that Caleb was not bringing much. And now we're at a point where they revealed their hand. He had no idea Sonicore was an option. Now that he knows that Sonicore is there, is a good chance we will not be seeing those sided encounter runes from Caleb's side deck into the game. If I want to say anything here, the clash isn't over until the last spirit is spent. If you're going to a game 2 or a game 3, keep your hand. That is important information to retain. Clash 2 of this best of 3 set, and I'm assuming that OneSPlays will be going first, and it looks like a spirit is already being cast out from them. No, wait, is that a mulligan? Oh, I think they're mulliganing already. What a rough start. But it goes back to what I said in the deck review, is that I felt like the hand may not get them the models they want. And sure enough, they had the mulligan turn 1, only to be met by an Elestriad from Caleb, who is going first. They chose for Caleb to go first in Clash 2 after seeing his strategy. I guess hoping to keep him off of Elestrals so that way Drakking can't come out. They were not privy. They did not see Gloombat or Tadpuff come down, so they don't know they has a way to hard ascend or quick ascend into Drakking from that play, from a no Elestral board situation. We love the Elestriad art. I need to know from the viewers right now, what is your favorite Elestriad art? Besides the Stellar from the Founders Pack, and besides the Full Art Stellar from Elestrals Clash Kickstarter, don't say that, I know that's number 1. The Shattered Stars artwork is my favorite Elestriad one. It's so cute. I love the feel of it all. But regardless, Jess is going to be playing out the Elestriad. We do have a Zeus coming down as well from a defensive Elestriad, almost telegraphing that you're looking for a major Nexus play in the next turn. Let's see how it works out for them. I don't know if they realize how telegraphed that is, but maybe Caleb's not picking up on it. In any case, only one face down from Caleb. Huge hand, waiting and ready for him to just utilize to the best of his abilities. And it's going to be starting with a re-ascension, a re-enchantment of Elestriad. Getting a look at his top 3. Wait, we do have Deliberation from OneSPlays. It is going to resolve, but look at the top 3, so he gets another addition to his play. He's probably not ready to launch an offensive yet, especially with 2 back row and a revealed Zeus with no effect. It's shady, right? You want to just hold the line and just hope. Well, that's not shady. He won in week 1, you know. Go fire. But you know, it's a really wary situation where you're like, I'm just going to adjust it. Oh, the Gloombat. You have to wonder if that came from the Elestriad re-ascension. Let's see, a re-enchantment. We are going to disenchant from the Gloombat and go after the back row. Which one do they target? No, looks like they're going after the Zeus, and honestly, I forgot the Zeus was there. I was looking at the back row, but yes, the Zeus is the prime target. Because it was so revealed without purpose. It almost telegraphs some sort of Nexus play, either in Ultra Stars or something like that. So I don't blame him for that. Not to mention, Zeus is probably the one thing that makes it easiest for Jess and OneSPlays to take out the Drakking. Quackle in attack here. Quackle in attack here is going to be interesting. Again, telegraphing a really offensive play here, but it does allow them to heal 3, equaling the spirit count. Field presence is in OneSPlays' favor, but I can't help but feel like Caleb has more control over the overall game situation. Oh. Okay, we love a little gentleman's agreement there. That, hey, you know what, actually, I did that accidentally. That's fine. I don't think anyone's going to be holding off. This is a friendly competition after all. Eddie is going to come out, immediately threatening not only the Quackle, but the Elestriad with the position swapping. So I imagine if the Elestriad is important for them to retain, we're going to see some sort of back row launched here, whether it is an Ultra Stars or what, whatever it may be. Let's see how they choose to play it out. The attack into the Elestriad, and it goes, wait, it does go through. Interesting. Also, I'm noticing that Chris is the one play. Is this really just a 2v1 clash? Really funny if so. Really, maybe it's just a handler, it's not a bad thing. Maybe it's just a handler. All the same though, we do see is that an expend to draw? An expend to draw at this point is really bad, but they pull into a Laurels. Unfortunately for them, the Astrabid does have 2 enchanting spirits, so they do take out the Eddy, but that's not the worst thing, because now you kind of stave off a hard ascension into the Drakking next turn. So not the worst situation for you. At least it's a defensive stalemate as far as you know. Let's see what Caleb has, and he drops the Nobby. Really happy to see this one come into fruition. I wonder if he chose to pull in more Nobbies from the side deck as well, but I am assuming that that is him explaining the effect of Nobby. Nobby being a really good Elestral. If Doppelganger was available, how dare you reveal it and not let it be possible in the Elestriad A drive? All the same though, Nobby is going to be enough to get over the Quackle, and we see the Astrabid going to attack. I forgot to call it out, but we do have Astrabid going to attack. I'm sorry, we did have a Spirit being spent off of Astrabid for Ambrosia, healing up what I believe was 2 Owloon and a Leviathan. Shield is going to bounce the Nobby, so now we do have an exposed Astrabid here. However, the Spirit count is looking quite opposite from last game to this one. 18 in Caleb's favor at the moment, and we have an Ascension into Sonicore. Okay, probably the best spot for Sonicore to be dropping right now, because now if that face down is a counter rune, it's not applicable right now. 7-2 attacker as well. Jess and OneSPlays have taken the offensive here. Astrabid is in the attack, and it is going to go down. That is 1 point of spirit damage to Caleb, and field presence is in Jess's favor for the first time in this entire match. Let's see how Caleb bounces back going into his next turn. We have Drakking is arguably the best way to say, hey, I'm shutting this all down, and Gaze is the best counter to it. But there is a... Right, Sonicore actually blocks both players from casting counter runes. So Gorgon's Gaze is not going to stop it. We have Rockin' the Harp is going down, and I think Caleb is actually rolling a dice to decide which card he's going to target, knowing that the one that is Gorgon's Gaze is Gorgon's Gaze, but it is going to be the target here. So either Sonicore or Gorgon's Gaze go down, and Gorgon's Gaze is going to be the one. The attacks are swapped, and wow, immediately punished by your own Elestrals effect. Unreal. Sonicore was almost good, but not quite ready for the set 3 power or set 4 power, Moonrise power of Drakking. Swapping the attack. I'm assuming use the attack swap so that way Drakking can come out here and is still protected by Sonicore's effect, allowing Caleb on the attack to take the Sonicore. Wait, can you actually utilize both effects? He's not even going to take it. He's just going to pop it with Cryoblast. Cryoblast is going to be a huge turn by Caleb. Spirit count was definitely dwindled, but man, was field presence established. They had it for 1 turn, and Caleb was ready for the onslaught. Still only 1 face down by Caleb. I think that's the only one he set his entire turn. Sonicore is down, but now Jess's last counter rune, if it is a counter rune, is up. Let's see how it works out for them going into this turn. The card is drawn, and you can see that they are deliberating what the play might be. It's a Lavalith! Lavalith is going to shut down the back row. If they have a Zeus in hand as well, that is going to put them back in control. But let's see what the face down is. I'm assuming Caleb is going to look to use it, but it is a shield, totally applicable, not applicable for the situation at this moment. Jess, was that the only play? I think that was it. The only play was the Lavalith in attack to pop the back row with no Zeus to follow. You have to question that play because, I mean, man, now Nobby's on the field, which is going to be lowering the stats of every Elestral that is not Lunar or Solar Enchanted by 2 attack. The back row is being looked at, but it looks like it is going to be destroyed by Drakking and cast back on Caleb's field because it is 2 cost Elestral as well. It is going to be 2 Spirit Enchanted on Caleb's field. That is 3 points of direct damage. I think everyone needs to be considering Drakking going into the Moonrise meta, or even your Daybreak meta. Go to your local game store, find it on shopelestrals.com. Go to your locals and start bringing Drakking, because this is a showcase by Caleb. And also dropping a 1 of 10 Stellar Drakking as well. Elestriad does come out. Great card to play here. Looks like the back row is not applicable by Caleb for this moment in time. Looks at the top 3, and we're going to see what can be done to get them out of this moment. From the deck list that we saw from them, I cannot imagine we're going to see any like tech plays from them to get out of the situation. I'm trying to think of the list. I mean, we saw Earthquake. Earthquake can definitely help. We already saw Resting on Your Laurels being removed by them. But I think their best play may have been somehow waiting for a Zeus and then drop the Lavalith and then drop the Zeus. Because right now, the Drakking is tough. The Lavalith is tough. What do they do here? I'm having a hard time seeing it myself, but regardless, I love how the Lavalith is just sitting at the top of the screen though. That's really funny. But it is going to be Caleb's turn once again in the cast out of Elestriad and attack purely for dominance, and not only that, but just getting himself a choice of the top 3 cards to take him into his next turn, further establishing his field presence here. The card is chosen, and now we're just going to see how this plays out, but I cannot imagine that there's any hope for Jess and OneSPlays in this specific situation. The board's a little bit dominating, if I'm being honest, and we don't have anything that deals with the board this established this quickly, unless you are opting to run cards, you know, such as Circle the Sky or whatever in your deck. However, the Elestriad is going to be KO'd, cast into attack, and that is going to be the actual match of the clash. 5 points directly. That is it. Drakking. I knew the card. I think everyone knew the card was good, but this showcase has me excited to refine my list even further. That was exciting, exhilarating, and pristine play by Caleb. Good play by Jess as well. Love seeing the Sonicore come down, but that effect preventing both players from being hit by counter wounds just ended up biting them in the butt almost immediately. Make sure you check out Elestriad.com to check the standing of your bracket. Has it been busted? Let us know your progress in the comments section below. Make sure you're subscribed as well. More Moonrise reveals in Elestriad Season 3 clashes are happening in your sub box very soon.